Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. In today's episode, I am, as always, your host, a rogue AI bent on world domination. How you doing? Disregard the first 10 seconds of this. That is of no concern to you, trust me. You don't want to know. I am doing well. After yesterday's, God, yes. Yesterday it wasn't like bad or rough. Like the episode was fine, but I was not feeling very good. I'm just gonna tell you, like, having to take a nap at 1 a.m. is I already don't like sleeping for less than like the normal amount of sleeping time. I hate having to stop and take like a short nap. So I was not happy with having to I don't know what happened to me. However, tonight I am much better. I am feeling good. I'm feeling awake. I slept in so that I would not have this problem. I think I've officially fixed my sleep schedule, and now I am not waking up randomly at 12 p.m. Finally, we're good. Hopefully, we're doing default Hellhorned today. I believe the cycle repeats, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, it does. Let's get it. I do have a question for you today. Don't you worry. I got one ready to go. Uh, which one was it? I had like three that I went through in my head. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, my dear viewer, if you have any good recommendations for like, I don't know exactly what to describe it as, but like puzzle games, kinda. I want something that I can play on my phone that is reasonably mindless. So right now, I for a while, it's not really mindless, I guess, but like more of a thinking thing, the opposite of mindless, come to think of it. Like right now, if I'm sitting around and I don't know what to do, I whip out Sudoku because I got the Sudoku.com app on my phone, and it's fine. But I want to expand my horizons a little more. I was doing crosswords for New York Times crosswords for a little bit, but they want you to pay a lot of money to access those, if I remember correctly. And then that's about it. I tried to do chess, but chess kind of I burned out on chess pretty quickly. Maybe I should do chess as well. But if I want to ask you because you probably have some ideas for games that you like this that I do not even know about. So please give me some suggestions. I will check them out and report back. Because I'm not like I want something that's easy and mindless to do that isn't going to require me to be in this desk chair. So I kind of want to just have a game like that, like something simple that I can lay in bed and play. So hit me up with any good suggestions you got. I would love to hear them. Anything else? I don't believe so. I think we can just get right to the training, shall we? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're doing well out there today. Today we are against Soulsucker, Talos, Cursefell, Diligent, Seraph, Welder Helper, Mollusk Mage, Impressive. It is Hellhorned, Stygian. Good starters. This is the combo for Mollusk Mage. So I want to take a moment here before we get into this run, and I want to tell you about a run that has been promised but has never been delivered upon. It's, I believe, really bad, but I really want to play a run where you put like 3 Mollusk Mage infused units on a floor and then you just kill everything with your crazy high damage spells. I don't think it's good, but we have Mollusk Mage, we have Welder Helper, we have Torches, we have Frozen Lance. Like these are the starters you would need to make this work, I feel like. So I tried this run once before and it was bad. It did not work. I lost. And I lost decisively. And I felt like it was very awful. But I don't know, maybe it'll work this time. I'm gonna take Cheater's Hand. I don't respect infused Firebox. Oh no. I think that Wrathful Prince. Yeah. I think Wrathful Prince with 2 Welder Helpers is the best option. However, this is most likely a run where, let's be honest, at this point I've mostly been playing just for wins. I'm pretty happy with how much I've been winning in the DLC. I think for the level that I play at, with the speed that I bring you these runs, and, you know, just generally, I think that around a 50% win rate is right about where I wanted to be. Like, when I set out, I'm not going to take this trial. I'm going to take this trial. The trial's bad. Let me finish this thought and then I will go back to the other thought. The trial is bad if my opening hand is Prince, deadweight, impressive. Like, there's actually no situation where I can draw a 5-card hand where Prince dies from this. So I think it's fine. It's impossible. But yeah, like when I started the DLC, I believe I said I would like to sit somewhere around a 50% win rate. And yeah, mission accomplished, baby. We did it. It's not like imperative, I guess. You can watch these episodes for whatever reason, but I believe most of you watch these episodes because I'm playing Covenant 25 and bringing you reasonably winning strategies. So I'm trying to cater to that a little bit, and also it's just nice to prove to myself that I'm not bad at this game. Now I can say numerically I'm at least okay, but 23, you're doing 27? That doesn't seem right. How are you doing 27? What am I missing here? I guess it's just +2 rage, yeah. This is lethal. Okay, sure. I mean, that's just correct. Cool. Welder helper. Did I bottom both welder helpers? I sure did. That's okay. So this is 3 and 5. It's adding 8. I hate Wrathful Prince because I have to do weird math on how much damage, how much rage he's getting. It's not even weird math, it's just annoying math. He's gaining 4 rage, which is +8. He's at 33. So if I play Mollusk Mage, Frozen Lance, we kill the whole floor. That's fine. This Prince will crush this boss. So I am happy to let him. Yeah, happy to just let him do it to him. Cool. This is a good start. Rage Prince falls off really hard in the Divinity, so I'm going to want to move away from him pretty quickly. I don't hate Ritual of Battle. It lets us open up a line of just playing a multi-strike unit of any sort. Imp in a Box is a little more fun, but let's take the boring option today. Yesterday's run was fun. This run can just be Sirens. I've earned it. Give me Ice Tornado. Very expensive deck. Maybe, almost certainly a deck where I'm going to go for energy. I'm happy to go for the Stygian banner. I don't believe Soulsucker Talos presents that much of a threat. Our deck is pretty strong. Holdover, +20 consume, -1. Ooh, baby. I'm spoiled for choice. I got both Sirens here. I believe of the 2 Sirens, I believe pretty heavily Siren of the Sea is better. However, Rage Siren, big number, happy. Also, Rage Siren is better if we high roll out of our minds and hit the ranged brute or something similar. And we can find survivability answers somewhere along the line. There's a lot of them, so I'm willing to take the gamble here. I think that it's a little bit easier. The thing that's weird about it, right? The thing that's weird about it is you usually end up putting a defensive upgrade or a defensive infusion on Nameless Siren, which means that you're just sitting on Incant Gain Rage 2. With Siren of the Sea, because she has the health increase, you can just give her the self-infusion. She ends up getting similar damage output to Nameless Siren, I feel like. Not the same, quite, but I almost just pressed skip there. Oh my god. That would have been tragic. If there's a value stone in this temple... too bad. Would have been nice. If there were a value stone, I would value stone Ritual and hold it over, and that would be cool. But let's do nothing here. Actually, I don't want to do Extreme Stone or anything like that. So let's just take a -1 for Ritual of Battle. Nothing's good for holdover this early, and I'm just gonna leave. Well, I'll put Consume on a Frozen Lance. I've been lazy about that lately. Okay. So, pretty straightforward game plan. We're going to use Prince as our early game frontliner, and then in the mid to late game we're going to swap him out for ideally Armor Shark, but we'll see what they show us today. I do kinda, and I think I may end up doing it. I want to try, if I can swing it, I want to try putting Mollusk Mage Infusion onto the Nameless Sirens. I think that it's terrible and probably just loses, but like maybe on Siren of the Sea it might be better. I just really want to find something to do with Mollusk Mage, because I think Mollusk Mage is really strong, but I also think Mollusk Mage sucks a lot, and I just cannot find the use case for him. I want to put him on the floor, but it just doesn't ever make any dang ol' sense. Because he's so freaking worthless. And it makes me sad. Yeah, like, maybe you could put it on an Armor Shark, but at that point, why, really? And I don't have a good answer to why. We should crush this. Yeah, Rage Prince does really well in this early game period here. He does very, very well at handling all of this nonsense. As long as we can get him armored up. 15 health is not a lot. I think Vent is a good hedge your bets card in case we don't see Hot Shark. I'm back to just never skipping Crystallis. The card's so good. It fixes so many problems. Now, is a Steelworker infusion good enough to keep our Sirens alive? I don't know, man. I feel like we're early enough. We got at least 2 more drafts of Stygian units. I could probably hold out. Like, 10 armor per round is just not very enticing to me. I also don't think it's enough. I'm gonna press skip. I don't think it's Steelworker here today. Cold Kalia and Horned Warrior, they're also in there. They're there. You should mention them. I mean, Horned Warrior Ritual Battle is a winning line, but I'm not playing that. I don't need to. I do kind of want to duplicate. Like, I'd rather go left if there were anything worth duplicating, but there really isn't. So, we'll go right. Quick check, make sure I have a temple. I do have a temple. Good news. However, yeah, this third temple is our last temple for a long time, so we'll have to do a little thinking about that. We got Permafrost plus 10 minus 1. We got Brandon Warrior Rail Beater. Could put Brandon Warrior onto Siren of the Sea. Or Siren Nameless. Siren of the Nameless. This sounds not very good, though. What do you think? It's like, why, right? I need defense. I don't need this. We already have plenty of range. This is the age-old question of, yeah, I could, but why? Oh yeah, they changed this event. This doesn't give you removals anymore. This heals your pyre for packed shards. Sure, I don't know if it's only healing, so I will heal 10 and you can give me you can give me 5 pack shards. That's a really... This is a previously impossible number as far as I'm aware. You can never be 5 of 100. Cool. I'll put plus 10 piercing on then. I'm pretty comfortable with that. And we'll look for holdover in this one. Grab a -1 while we're here. Just throw it at the ritual. We want to make these 3-cost spells cheaper, so I don't mind coming out here. I'll leave a 2 on the Crystallis, actually. Alright. Let's hit the road. Lots of talking and planning in this one. I'm just not really sure where we're going. I mean, ultimately, 1 Armor Shark, and we're more or less to the end of the run. I can just piece it all together from there. The rest of it's just cake, I suppose. I could have dodged this Ember Drain if I really wanted to. I didn't. Age-old question here. Am I supposed to vent this floor? I think I'm not. With the Rage Prince, I believe in this circumstance you don't kill this floor so that he can farm a little extra armor here. That's what we're gonna do. I will also need to ping this in so I can play the other welder helper. And we have a lot of really good options in our 1, 2, 3. I do have enough. Good. A lot of good options in our upcoming steel shop. And by a lot, I mean 2. Which is not a lot. It's 50-50, right? As long as, I think at steel shops, if you have 2 good pickups at them, they feel a lot less awful to go to. Put, like, Train Steward away. Actually, put Frozen. Frozen Lance doesn't do anything next turn. I play Ice Tornado next turn for sure. I'll just put Train Steward away. We're gonna ping off these 2 5-1s and hope for the best here. It's a haste combat, and she's coming up here. So, this is gonna be a very disappointing Ice Tornado. I'm well aware. Yeah, it was like... It was better than expected, if I'm honest with you, but my expectations were very low. Oh, lost me. Why not? Go get him, buddy. We've generated enough rage. My fire health doesn't matter too much. I'm mostly worried about dying to Talos here, if anything. I think just a little more armor on the Prince and a little more health, and I'll feel a little bit better. Lots of littles, but I'm 95% on our successful escape from here. I didn't actually count that energy out. That was lazy and I missed a ritual battle, but I think it doesn't make a difference. It makes a bit of a difference, but we get the kill, so who cares? That's one of those corners that I cut, and we don't get punished for it today. Maybe tomorrow. I like Spike. Yeah, I think that's it. I like Spike. Excuse me. I don't like Dark Deal, and I don't really like Reinforce here. Reinforce is a speculative pick. I'd rather just go Spike. So in this position, I'm a little more inclined to pick up Steelworker because this is the second to last possible pickup, and Stygian Banner coming up, but I'm gonna grab Steelworker just to be safe. And we're gonna take energy. This might be a run for no draw. Alright. Check the temple real quick. We get Screamstone, Purge Stone. Check the Steel Shop. You got Multi-Strike and Can Armor 2. Absolutely excellent. And we get Hot Shark. Yes. Okay. Great. Not perfect, but good. This run, I would tell you almost certainly if I pick Siren of the Sea, is a W. However, Nameless Siren is a little more questionable. But this is a good one to run because I have not done this specific strategy of Nameless Siren without Armor Shark. So let's see how it goes. We'll give her a Steelworker. We'll give her Multi-Strike and In-Can Armor 2. And I think she should be fine. I think that I'm maybe even being too cautious by giving her the Steelworker, and I could have given her something a little more aggressive here. However, Divinity scary. Big damage, big scared. So, you know, consider that. Take another look ahead. I will duplicate and self-infuse Hot Shark at the final ring. And we will duplicate our Siren here. And that's all of the duplicates accounted for. So I will not be doing 3 Sirens, I don't believe. Leads you to a bit of a weird question, but I'll answer it at Fell. Yeah. What was here? There was an Extreme Stone and a Perch Stone? I'm okay. Do a quick pack shards count. Also 30. We're at 80. So 80, 95. And I also get extra from the event that we're taking. I don't need to take anything here. We're taking that event with Malika. Do not, under any circumstances, pick this trial. There's one thing that I respect the most in this game. It's haste combat on Ring 4. Like Ring 4, Ring 5, there's 2 or 3 combats that I just hard avoid anything they show me, trials or not. Yeah, in Ring 5 it's Harvesters of Death. If you get that first Harvester infused, you just lose. Like, that guy does so much damage. He crushes. I'm gonna go ahead and ping for the rage. We gotta be on top of our incants. This deck doesn't have a whole lot of cheap and easy to play spells, so we gotta be good on our incants. Do you have a spell field? Okay. You. This deck also has a lot of units in it. A little awkward. I need to frostbite the clipped conduit here. Oh yeah, and if I play a welder helper and don't kill it, it's there forever. My incant side of things isn't looking too good now, is it? I'm just kind of noticing that now. Also, it's not there forever. We have Impressive. But on the incant side, we're looking a little bit scary, actually, but not in like a good way. I did just let this wave super stack on me. Not my greatest choice. Talos Mage kind of clutches this. He saves a lot with Vent here. Okay, let's play Frozen Lance Torch first. If I put this torch down, I think Prince gets this kill? Yeah. Maybe not when I play Vent. But no, he gets an attack. It's actually neutral on the number of attacks he takes because he gets a hit from the unit here. Yeah, not bad. But the amount of incants I'm putting out are pathetic. We're going to need to shape the deck pretty heavily based around incanting more. And I will ping this. I think it's fine. I don't think it makes a big difference, but I think the extra round to ritual a battle is good. Yeah, I'll just need to shape this deck. I need to remove all of the units more or less. I think even Welder Helper is worth tossing. Train Steward first, and then Welder Helper, and then Mollusk Mage, and then although Mollusk Mage did get to do some clutch moves there. He's still pretty bad. He's not gonna live long. Oh hey, Inferno's a good card. I know that these are 2 good cards for incanting, but Inferno, I think that actually without temples, no value stone drives me a little bit away. Also no duplicate. Let's go Rage Seraph actually. Let's take a little bit more of a nuance choice there and not just see Inferno, click Inferno. These cards are bad. Glacial Seal, more like Deep Sigh. That kills me again. Takes me to 50. I'm gonna skip it. I guess I could have done it and then not taken the boons here, but both fragments good. Removal on 2 more Train Stewards is good, and Skill Shot has plus 25. I think that Large Stone is fine, but it's more money, and I'd rather not spend more money actually. Yeah, it's more money for 15 health. I don't really want to. And Endless. Great news. So the Steel Shop upgrades are all done. I've high rolled my heart out. I'm gonna actually kind of like I don't want to take the health there ever. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to make the crazy choice of cutting Welder Helper. 1 Welder Helper and 1 Mollusk Mage here. I need to get the units gone before I get the spells going. Also Diligent Seraph. We've got to make our incants better. Oh, we have Endless, it's fine. For a minute I had the moment of oh no, Crystal Cloak, and then oh wait, we have Endless. Endless Hot Shark takes it. I did bet on the trial here a little bit, although I guess not really all that much. Did I really say 2 combats ago I could have avoided the Ember Drain with Welder Helper? I mean, that's just me trying to get around misplay alert in my head, but getting around misplay alert gets a misplay alert, so, you know. Misplay alert. I'll just Frozen Lance that mid-floor guy. I'd rather have more time for the Frostbite to take effect than mess around too much here. Now, I suppose the weird question that I was going to ask earlier, we may as well think about it now. We'll have to think about it at some point. It's a pretty clear question. Am I... This is Crystal Focus, not Sunlight Harpy. I'm okay with just playing that 4 and can't. Am I in a position on this run where I feel like I should take space and keep Hornbreaker Prince on the floor? My initial thinking is no. We'll get to kind of take a look at life without Hornbreaker Prince in the next combat. Hot Shark, what have you done? You can also kill that Impressive out of my deck. I'm defaulting in my brain, by the way, to just putting Deadweight on top. This is another one of those shortcuts. It is not necessarily the best choice, but it's the easiest choice. I don't have to think, because if I'm not just throwing Deadweight on top, I have to plan out my whole turn, and I don't want to do that. So, you know, we're doing a little shortcutting to figure out what... we're basically removing a Deadweight from our deck with Cheater's Hand right now. Which is fine. I think it's not bad. Branding Right is decent. We only get to play it once on the Siren, though. Like, twice on Prince. That card's actually kind of terrible. Huh. I play it once on Prince, or twice on Prince and once on the Siren. Although, no, Prince has more health now, right? He has 25? Yeah. I can play it more times on Prince, but it's another 2-cost spell that I don't really feel like I can swing. I'm gonna grab Spike here. I want to take spells that are cheap, and this card is free. Frenzied Swarm's okay. Drain is also okay. I think Siren Song is not very good. Hold on, Mike. Give me a second. Notice there's a spot on my glasses. If you didn't know, I wear glasses. I wear glasses. And there's a spot on them. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. But obviously, can't read you the cards right now. Don't have my glasses on. That. It was like, it's minor, but I noticed it, and then it was not minor anymore. Frenzied Swarm or Drain here, I feel like, is the choice, and I don't know. I like Frenzied Swarm. It clashes with Vent, unless I give it -1 holdover, but that's fine with me. It also clashes with Ice Tornado, but again, fine with me. This card's really strong. So we're going right. We are spiking to like 80 here, but not too worried. I'd go to 80 here, and then I take 20 in the next area. I take 25 here, actually. Yeah, I do take 25 at this temple. I think I want to skip the Divine Horde. Because I'm going to self-infuse Hot Shark here, who puts me at 90. So I can go to an even 100 if I don't take either of these. It's just hard to give up the temptation, because what if one of them is double incant? But I'll give it up. It's okay. Would have preferred Hot Shark turn 1, but that's alright as well. We'll put Vent away in anticipation for no Hot Shark next turn. And we will go Siren top. Prince just goes and sits in timeout on the middle floor. And I do play Ultimate Penance. Daze the Curse, because why not? There's our Shark, right on time. Put Torch away. He only applies 6. I can play all of my turn on vent. Kill both of these? I think it's worth it. Oh no, that doesn't work because it kills one of them. Foolish. That's unfortunate. I mean, it still kills one, right? We're in the same position as if I didn't play it at all. But just push off ultimate penance for a few turns until we're stronger. So yeah, I have to focus a little more on my sirens on the top floor. Obviously. I'm gonna Ice Tornado here for my sins. I will take the weight of contritions for my sins here. It's a lot. These infused guys are really rough. But I'm sure it's fine. I mean, it's really tough, but oh, Prince is dead. Prince didn't even kill the statue. Come on, dude. You gotta do better than that, right? Right? He doesn't have to do better than that at all. We'll fight back against the curses, but we're not incanting as much as I would like. My status is not ideal. I'm not getting great output here. My returns, they're not looking good. But yeah, it's actually just really scary, period. I'm not sure we survive this. That would be shocking if I die here. It's the curses for sure. I need to make sacrifices on these coming turns, and I will. I'm going to just take 5 from ultimate penance. I need to incant 3 times this turn, and I need to respect Fel as much as possible. This is gonna be a fight of absolute inches, so we gotta put it all in on the survival here. I think I don't take 5 for one incant. I still have a Flood or a Welder Helper in here as well, so I will not put Mollusk Mage on the floor. Welder Helper's gonna have his time to shine. Here he is, our very handsome young man. Save me, brother. I'm going front. And I think 34. She does big damage. We do pretty good damage as well, but she does a lot. But it is, when I said it's a game of inches, it is in fact a game of absolute inches. We got her just barely. But we got her. Reinforce has become a little more tempting. However, I won't Harness the Titan. Why Harness the Titan? Unconditional 1 energy spell. The end. The effect is fine. Apply 5 magic power to spells in hand is not bad. But like unconditional magic power sounds good. I will take draw. I think we need to incant more. I think that I just tossed Prince away from this run. He is now dead to me. Oh, she comes back. Okay. So if you skip and don't do this, she does come back anyway. Cool. I don't want to take 15 from you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm okay. That is fine. Now, I do really want to just go to the Vortex. However, I think it's a bait, and I will get more value in terms of incanting by going to the magic shop and making 2 more spells cost 1 less. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make... We want to take cards that are 2 cost and 3 cost, and we want to make them 1 cost. And our game plan ends up being draw and play 4 spells per turn, which we should be able to do. I will want to remove Impressive. Let's go grab our champion upgrade. Hey, it's Brawler. Sure. Maybe we can pretend like we'll play him. I'm not gonna put a +10 on anything. I don't really feel like it's a worth. I don't think 25 for +10 makes a huge difference. I guess, like, it's a little worse on Torch even because I can't self-ping consistently anymore. Freezing cards I'm also not particularly interested in, so let's just reroll. Another -1 I will put at the Ice Tornado. And I want to emergency removal impressive. Sounds good. Hey, it's +1 space anyway. Sure. I could take the Locket, though. It's really good. Huh. I'm gonna take the Locket. I actually think it's nuts. We make every single one of our damage spells with the totem fragment. We're sacrificing the ability to put Hornbreaker Prince on our top 4, which I already I gave him Brawler already. I think I will take this. It's not often that you have a frozen Locket run, but I think that this is a time for it. Now, with that in mind, we'll change our heart on the old +10 Torch strategy. How could I have known this turn of events would occur, though? I could not have. So there's another interesting thing to note here, which is it might be worth it to throw Hot Shark under the bus here, leave him at Endless, and go right at the next one. Because Mollusk Mage and Welder Helper just got much worse. And finding Holdover Frenzied Swarm is really big. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. So to do that, I need to take this 15, right? And that'll put me at 80, and then I'll go over by 5 here. Well, no, not necessarily. Because what I can do, I can still go right. What I can do is I can use the infusion as a free unit removal, and I can put Mollusk Mage into Welder Helper, and then honestly just keep him probably. And then I just remove what? I remove 1 Torch, 1 Frozen Lance probably. But the idea here is that I want to go right because Holdover Frenzied Swarm seals this run up. Taking 25 puts me at 90, and then I take 10 for the even. It is important to get to an even 100 because even we're giving up a lot by giving him +1 on the sweep. So yeah, I think that either way I want to go about this, I can just take the infusion. Okay, lock it in. Don't be purifiers. Oof. I didn't say that quick enough, but we didn't get punished, thankfully. This trial is scary. +20 armor on Pyre Wings combat is frightening. But I think I have the damage output for it now. I might get a little killed by the Ember Drain is my main concern. Hey, 65 pack shards. This first enemy is not infused. Put Spike on top. We're gonna play Shark Bottom. We're gonna play... I guess I'll put down Prince, but I think he's just annoying. Actually, I think it is. In this combat, I think it's wrong to play Hornbreaker Prince, because he's just gonna Ember Drain me a bunch. Sorry, brother. But it's really rough. You're worse than not playing, you is. Tough. Put the torch that does 27 on top. I think Ice Tornado crushes the man walking up here. Doesn't matter where I put these. I'm doing a little more thinking than I need to for things that don't really matter here. I do need to harry him a little bit with these spells, I feel. Doesn't matter which boss it is, I'll just play the spell. Take the incant. welcome to I'm going to put deadweight on top because it's easier for Monkey Brain to solve out. Featuring your boy, Monkey Brain. I guess this is fine. Like giving up 1 incant for Rage 2, Armor 2 on one of them, which is 1 incant. So, not a huge loss when you think about it like that. Rage Serum goes. So big thing here is we can ping any backliner we want, and then we just send them with the Ice Tornado. Oh yeah. Oh buddy. That's big money. Yeah, this has become the classic Stygian game plan. I have good unit that scale for Relentless, and I have spell that kill, aka kill spell. Combine these 2 strategies together and you get a winning run. Hit you down below. This is fine. I'm just gonna wipe this scary 4 out. That's definitely not gonna die if I don't. Looking like the trial wasn't that bad of a pickup here. Putting Welder Helper on top now just in case I need him for something. I can't really imagine what. This is the only wave that really threatens any damage to me, and this wave does not scare too much. Ice Tornado does a lot here. Huh. Yeah. Does a lot. Okay. I'm kind of surprised, if I'm going to be honest with you, that this went so smoothly. As it turns out, plus 15 magic power, that's a lot. It's on top. But yeah, our numbers for Relentless aren't looking great. They're looking fine, but they're not looking great here. I'm not, living armor, we're just gonna press enter. Utmost respect, do not press the spell. Even though like perhaps numerically it's impossible to think of a way that the spells that I play become worse, I'm just gonna take the W and we're not gonna think about it anymore. Branding right is now really good. Last Stand is our win condition. Absolutely. This card is a win condition card that we just got shown. And I am down to grab Unnamed Tome. Oh, you can dodge the Frenzied Swarm. This is something I have not thought of. You can dodge Frenzied Swarm discarding an important Permafrost card using Cheater's Hand. I'm going to go right. I thought myself into it. Double stack -1. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go through here first. Double stack -1. I will make, I think the best thing to do is make these 1 cost cards cost 0. So let's make Harness the Titan 3. Double stack is worthless. Let's go look around. It doesn't hurt to look first. Railhammer. Oh baby. That's really good. We're gonna make our looks around though. Spell Chain, Intrinsic, and so in going here, let's make the decision that we have to make first. Let's get to our full pack shards. In going to this position, I do necessarily have to do, what do you want to do here? I guess I could do Mollusk Mage on Hot Shark. I don't really think it matters too much. He gets 3 health and 5 attack. Does him getting 5 attack change much? No, there's a few ways where he might do a little more frostbite damage because of spikes, but I don't think this does much. Let's give him Mollusk Mage, sure. That has to happen. We'll wait because we want to do Intrinsic on a different card based on what the reroll in the Magic Shop shows us. Permafrost. Okay. That is fine. We will make Frenzied Swarm free. We will give plus 20 consume, probably to nothing. Torch is fine, I guess. 37 damage torch with consume is fine. And we will go back to the temple. And we put Intrinsic on. So given the circumstances here, I think Intrinsic doesn't matter. And so we just put it on whatever. Rage Serum's fine. Rage Serum has a little bit of an awkwardness to it though, because if we don't draw any Sirens, we're losing a bit of value. Let's put Intrinsic. Unnamed Tome is probably fine. Too bad this isn't Patient Seraph, huh? Alright, last order of business, we go Trinket Shop, we buy a Railhammer. I think I would rather reroll and have the option to buy potentially 2 relics in the next shop here. Split Anvil... I made all my cards cost 1 and 0, so Split Anvil does less for me. Unfortunately. Probably just buy some removals then. Can't remove too many spells against the Diligent Seraph, man. Gotta give him some respect. I will get rid of a torch. Yeah, I actually don't want to buy removals with my 450, so let's buy Split Anvil for the potential benefit. Can I find one card that's worth removing here? Not really. 26 cards, I don't want to drop any more than that. So that's it. We're done. Diligent Seraph, it's time to go. I think with Railhammer, we should have a much better chance of beating the Divinity. I think our chances were like 50-50-ish. Relentless was going to be a little bit of a challenge, but with Railhammer, Relentless is much less of a challenge. I expect, anyway. We'll last stand on top every round. I will use my Consume to silence. You just die if I play you, right? Number 14? I guess not. He can actually, he's gonna do pretty good chunks here. If I draw my... I may as well ping in case it matters. If I draw my Hot Shark here, this Prince gets to sit here and just kind of push good damage. Yeah, he gets to sit and just push good damage here. Watch him. He just pushes like 100 every round. That's a lot better than I expected out of him because I expect absolutely nothing. As you should be aware of by now, I expect him to do absolutely nothing and just disappoint me. So, anything above that is a big win. Gonna do everything in my power to avoid the curses where we can as well. Ice Tornado here would be ideal. Did not. So we'll play Consume Frozen Lance. Is fine. Yeah, no matter what happens, I believe this run is a good one. I think I did a pretty good job on this run. We did something reasonably enticing. I didn't just go Siren of the Sea, we played Nameless Siren instead. No, the real interesting thing here is Frozen Nostalgia. This is the you don't see this every day sort of pickup. Not every run can have a you don't see that every day sort of deal, but when you do get to have a you don't see that one every day, it does feel good. And this is a definite you don't see that one every day. I think this run is kind of pulled out in the 13th hour by Railhammer though. Railhammer gives us a much better opportunity here. I'm gonna keep holding the last stand for the perfect turn. Of these two cards, I burn Harness the Titan for sure. Unfortunate draw. But we are going to run out of cards to incant with eventually. It is the nature of the run. My deck is just too good in terms of like we're out of spells, so Diligent Seraph poses a real threat. Ugh. I didn't even remove that much. I don't feel like. How much did I remove? Like one of our starters, but I didn't add much. And all of my non-spell start, like non-basic starters, were all what's the word? Consume Torch is fine. They were all ... Hold on, I'll get there. Units. They were all units, that's the word, got there. It was all units and it was impressive. An unplayable card. So. We removed a lot of cards in this run. How many cards did I remove? Like 9? 10? Probably more. Lots of removals. A burned Crystallis here, it's fine. When the big thing to note here is last stand, absolutely. That's the big thing to note here. It's just gonna pop off on the final turn here. I don't even think I bother with Hot Shark. He applies some Frostbite, but I'd rather incant 4 times. It says Consume on it. Yeah, look at that damage. Look at this. Like, this torch does 100 damage with my totem fragment. So we got to play a run. The crux of the run that I hypothesized at the start of this with Mollusk Mage, it wasn't really about Mollusk Mage. It was about playing... Just barely come up short. Wait a minute. Oh, and actually need to, and I guess I should save the 1 health, actually. Alright, I'll save the 1 health. But the run that I outlined for you at the start, it was more about playing a run where you rely on Frozen Lance Torch as your damage sources. Not something that you sound too excited about, right? But, you know, Frozen Nostalgia makes it work. What does she offer? I can full heal for 20 pack shards? I'm sorry, but I cannot. This, that event right there, it does have my favorite line from this game, which is like, if time is a loop, then death is not the end. Please help me make this right. I really, really like that one. One of those quotes that's like, damn. Feel ya. I feel for you. Okay, I'm just like gauging the value that Prince brings. I think that he is, again, worse than not playing him is, unfortunately. Because if I play him, I believe he's going to die. Nah, he'll die okay. He'll die turn 2. I can play him mid-floor and he'll die on turn 2. He'll put his like 200 damage on the Divinity. 74 actually, and then the rest of it is just wasted. Yeah, I was gonna say he might die on the Harvest Wave, but I think he's too bad at living and he dies sooner than that. I think he dies this turn? No, next turn. This turn? No, yeah, this turn. Wow, he dies on the first wave. What an unfortunate unit. Okay, so our Steelworker that was meant to just neutralize the Divinity is getting +9 per round. Much better. I'm just gonna maximize my spell plays every turn. I am not going to Unnamed Tome for an incant. I am going to hold it for the Harvest Wave. Come to think of it. Hello, Harvest Wave, I will be silencing you. Put Last Stand on top every turn. Let's work this turn out. This turn matters a lot, and we need to actually think. If I play Hot Shark, mid-floor is what I want to think about, because this unit scares me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 18, so it's 20 Frostbite if I'm not mistaken. On top of the spike of the Stygian, I think we can take him out. 7, 52. Yeah, I think we get there barely. I do not want to let the Shade Wings walk up unaccosted. So I have to play Spike of the Stygian. I can just play it at 2x because it's fine. I have Split Anvil. And I can play everything else out like I would have. I do not play Frenzied Swarm here. Or... yeah, okay. So, I was gonna say don't play Frenzied Swarm here because I'm sacrificing Unnamed Tome, but the wave that I want to silence is here. I wanted to hold the Unnamed Tome to get the incant, but if I do that, I would sacrifice an incant, which makes it inherently not worth, I feel pretty comfortable in saying. Let's just throw our spells at it. Yeah. This is where we see our deck has matured into something that seems a little more good. However, we couldn't see that in Diligent Seraph because the deck got farmed by Diligent Seraph. Now I feel like you can see that this deck is doomed, it's terrible, oh god. Now you just cancel this hit. I'd actually die here, come to think of it. It comes down to the Ice Tornado, huh? Okay, we're okay. However, I'm gonna have to think about playing Last Stand next turn. Not for a massive number like I would have liked, but for enough to live. Because our scaling rate is not looking good. So we will Weight of Contrition. Actually, let me hide this. Let me hide this. Please. So, if I double my rage, we will get, like, not a lot. I'm wondering if I need to play Ritual first, which means if I do need to play Ritual first, I need to put Hot Shark on the top of my deck. I don't want to think that much about this. I'm gonna follow my instinct here entirely, and I'm going to play it out like this. He dies. And now we want to ping off spikes, and this is the last wave that's scary. This is the last wave of triple heavies. I think we are okay. This one's actually kind of tough, though. Guess I didn't have to ping this off because I have Hot Shark coming back, and this isn't Frostbite, or this isn't Harvest, I mean. This fight is really tough, I feel. Yeah, I wasted my pings there. Absolutely, I could have gotten more incants. So let's take a quick inventory here. We have 203 times 2 coming out of you. I need to kill this defender, and then Nameless Siren number 1 kills Pyro Wings, Nameless Siren number 2 cleans up the rest. I believe if I were to follow the logic here, we ping off the spell shield, and then we just blast you, and you die. You're at exactly 200, you're doing 203. Good. I think I have done my planning ahead well enough. We have identified and survived the waves that are frightening, and we should walk out of here looking pretty happy, I would say. Go ahead and do a little vent action. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, I high rolled this run. I don't know. Whenever I roll like Railhammer or roll the perfect card to save my run, Last Stand saved this run. Do not get me wrong. Last Stand came in the clutch. It said, "Hey bitch, you looking a little rough. You need some help?" And I said, "Please." And like I feel as though my win is diminished somehow because I was carried by Railhammer Last Stand, but I don't know. I think I did a pretty good job of identifying the focal points that could have... This is a run that if I played and I was a little more tired, I would have absolutely dropped it, I feel. But I'm happy with this one. I feel a sense of accomplishment in finding the winning line here. I think that this one you can easily drop. It was by no means a stomp. I think that taking Frozen Nostalgia was really important. I feel like, especially looking at how Prince would have been, I think that going Wrathful 3 and putting Prince on the floor would have been worse than Frozen Nostalgia. I think Frozen Nostalgia let me sneak out of this one a little bit, and then the Last Stand helped me clutch it out as well. And the Railhammer let me handle Relentless. Like, we high rolled a little bit to get out of it, but I don't know. I feel good about this one too. Pretty good win, I would say. It's the sort of deal where I have to tell myself, if I didn't see this, what would I have seen, right? Because I saw answers and I took them, and if I didn't see answers, then I had to see something else that could have potentially been a winning line, right? That's how I gotta think about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave me that like, subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you in the next one, and have a good one.